Welcome to the Absa Jewish Achiever Awards 2024. To kick off proceedings, please welcome to stage Chairperson of the SA Jewish Report and Chair of the Absa Jewish Achiever Awards Committee, Howard Sackstein.
Well, what a 25 years it's been for the world, for the Jewish Report newspaper, and for the Jewish Achiever Awards. But if you think about it, when we gathered in this room last year, it was a very different scenario. We gathered for the Jewish Achiever Awards, and we gathered in the face of a looming war. Our wounds were wet. Our grief was palatable. And over the past year, so much and so little has changed. You know, they say that Jews don't have history. What we have instead is we have memory. And so we remember our exodus from Egypt, and as at the Seder table, we recount the story of our exodus from Egypt. We do so as if we ourselves were slaves to Pharoh in Egypt. When we talk about the attempted genocide of Jews by Haman in Persia, we do so as if we were going to be the victims of Haman. And in a month's time, when we light those Hanukkah candles, we will light them to commemorate our own liberation, the throwing off of colonial oppression, and the rekindling in the temple of our holy light at the Holy of Holies. Because our past is our present. Somehow we intertwined 3,000 years of Jewish history into a remarkable present and our dreams for a better future. And although tonight we are celebrating only the 25th anniversary of the Absa Jewish Achiever Awards, we recognize that Jews have been in South Africa for at least 125 years. Our hearts and our souls beat to the rhythm of Africa. It is in this time that we have built this country, that we've dug deep into the soil of Africa, that we've been its refugees, we have been its laborers, we've been its trade union movement. We have fought in its wars. We have risen for freedom in the streets of the city, and we have built its stores. We've healed its sick. We've drafted its laws, and we've fed the poor. We are this nation's shopkeepers, its professionals, its entrepreneurs, its Nobel laureates. And I can honestly say with unbridled arrogance that we can ask the question, where would South Africa be today if not for this Jewish community? We are intertwined into the very fabric, into the DNA of this country. Today and tonight we stand on the shoulders of the legends that have come before us. Unbridled by our nation's dark past and history, and enormously proud of absolutely everything that we as a community have achieved in this country. But we didn't arrive in this nation as privileged colonists. We arrived as penniless refugees. We were fleeing persecution and we were fleeing pogroms when we arrived here into an inhospitable nation divided by a troubled present. And it was here that we flourished and took root. We traveled from town to town, smosing goods. We labored on farms. We worked in sweatshops, busy sewing suits. And we wandered through townships selling coal. We didn't just build businesses. We built society. We built a nation. And just as John Foster and Hendrik Verwoerd stood at the docks in Cape Town trying to prevent Jews from coming to South Africa because we were not white, and the clubs of privilege put up signs that said, no Jews, no dogs, it didn't matter to us. Barney Bonato, who donated a full block of the center of Johannesburg to build the Rand Club, was denied entry into the club because he was Jewish by the very people who took his land as a gift. We didn't seek their approval then, and we don't seek their approval today. We are the moral beacon of this country. And so here at the Absa Jewish Achiever Awards, we celebrate not only our new winners, but we celebrate tonight 25 years of people that we recognize, the remarkable icons of this nation. That's what we'll be celebrating tonight. And I say with unabridged arrogance, because we have to ask ourselves, where would we be as a people? Would we have a mining community without Alfred Beit, or Barney Bonato, or Ernest Oppenheimer, or Lionel Phillips, or Sir Mick Davis, or Ivan Glasenberg? Would we even have a stock exchange if it were not for Sammy Marks, the first great industrialist of South Africa, before even the days of Bidvest and the remarkable empire that was built by Brian Joffe? Would we have supermarkets if not for Checkers and ShopRite and Pick and Pay and Woolworths and OK Bazaars? And where would we shop if not for Mr. Price and Foschini and Woolworths and Truworths and Ellerins and the core groups and Clicks and Dischem or At Home? Would we have shopping centers if not for Donnie Gordon and Michael Rapp? Where would we insure without Liberty and Discovery, or go on holiday without Saul Kersner and Arthur Gillis? Would we even have the internet without Dave Frankel and the Apteker brothers, or hospitals without Jackie Shevel, Morty Sachs, and Richard Friedland? And in the struggle against apartheid, where would we have been without a Joe Slovo, a Ruth First, an Arthur Goldreich, a Harold Walpy, a Dennis Goldberg, and in Parliament, when there was one single person who was willing to stand up against apartheid, where would we be if not for Helen Suzman? So many in our community who have risked so much for a better society. So we ask, would we have a constitution without Arthur Chasles and L.B. Sachs? Would we have even written the Freedom Charter in Kliptown if not for the Jewish community? And would we have places to eat if not for Nando's and Spur and McDonald's? Or things to drink without SA breweries? Or maybe even the million people in South Africa who get their clean, fresh drinking water from Sivanya Ari? That is the contribution that our community has done to South Africa. Because not only that, we have fed the poor through Operation Hunger and the Kamala Bantu and Africa Tikkun and the Angel Network and the Kirsch family. This is what we are proud of. And when we think of culture, where would we be today without Johnny Clegg, Le Zulu Blanc, or the biting humor and drag of Peter Dirk Ace, or the drawings of William Kentridge, or Urba Stern's paintings, or the cartoons of Dorf Fedler, or the writings of Nadine Gordimer, or maybe even the photography of David Goldblatt? Would we even have a steel industry without the Kaplans, without the Samsons, without the Barneses today? Because in truth, we are the DNA of this nation. We are the intel inside. We are the trailblazers and the innovators. We have been the engine behind the growth of what South Africa is today. My list is long, and your evening is short. And so I ask for forgiveness that I haven't mentioned the thousands, actually the 10,000s of South African Jews who have made this country greater than our country's own potential. And tonight, we celebrate and we recognize the building of this nation, not just alone, but together with so many of our partners. Together with Absa, our title sponsor, we have seen a bank so absolutely committed to telling the inspiring stories, the stories that matter about South Africa. They bank us so we can sleep at night. They fund our businesses so we can employ people and families can be fed. They are the very epitome of a bank that builds a nation. Absa have been our partners in this holy mission for more than 20 years, to find the unique, the extraordinary, and to celebrate the creation of role models for all of South Africa. And we wish to thank our other sponsors this evening, people who've joined us in this mission, to people so committed to the development of this nation, to the Kirsch family for everything that you've done to all of us, to the Ellerins, to the Lubners, to the Itchakovitzes, to the Mann family, and to Europcar, who are so determined to create woman leadership role models for our community. I thank you all. You will see that Johnny Walker and Baxberg family wines will keep you all well liquidized and maybe lubricated this evening. I want to give thanks to our teams of organizers. Events like this don't happen without a lot of hard work. To my organizing committee, to our event managers, to the more than 300 people who are working here this evening, to the CSO and Hatsola who are keeping you safe, to the 5 panels of judges, 35 judges in total, who waded through 825 nominations which we received from members of the public. Each one of those nominations was scrutinized, were evaluated, were looked at, and 92 people were interviewed to make sure that tonight we can bring you 11 remarkable winners. And in conclusion, I want to say it's been a hard 14 months. In those 14 months, I've witnessed things that I never believed I would ever see in my lifetime. I've seen the rise of racist Jew hatred in South Africa and around the world that I believed was impossible in the modern era. But you know something? It does not matter. We are a resilient people that has survived 3,000 years of oppression. We are a people that will not slumber, nor will we sleep until we bring a better world to South Africa and to the people around the world. We are the ripples of hope in a river of debris. And our job is to turn those ripples of hope into a tsunami of love. And so, Chief Rabbi, honored Rabbonim, we're so delighted to have members of the cabinet present this evening, members of parliament present this evening, members of the diplomatic corps, but most important, we have filled this room with friends and people we absolutely adore and love, the pillars of our community and our friends and allies who are standing up tonight to celebrate the best that our community has to offer everyone. And I ask you all to please join us as we sing a song, a prayer for peace. Thank you very much.
La Shem es la אשיב מבוטח תתאפר כאן לא יועילו לו שמחת הניצחון ולא שירי הלל לכן רק שירו שיר השלום אל תיחשו תפילה מוטב תשירו שיר השלום בצעקה גדולה
השמש לחדות מבעד לפרחים אל תביטו לאחור הניחו להולכים שאו עיניים בתקווה לא דרך כוונות שיר שיר לאהבה ולא למלחמה לא חלום ורוב הכיכרות הרינו לשלום לכן רק שירו שיר השלום אל תיחשו תפילה מוטב תשירו שיר השלום בצעקה גדולה צאו לשמש לעלות לבוקר להאיר הזעקה של בתפילות אותנו לא תחזיר